Welcome to the first video of this series about data manipulation and analysis in Python. This first video would be in this video we are gonna discuss about how is it possible to append two or more data frames in Python. As you can see in my Python environment, we already have two data frames in the form of dictionaries. However, you can also work with CSV files and Excel files. So you can use the read CSV or read Excel functions to get data from those data sources. So the first thing you can read in this code is that we have to first import our library that will enable us to do data manipulation analysis, um, especially in data that is stored in a tabular form. And we are gonna store it as PD. So as you can see, we have the sales Q1 dictionary and sales Q2 dictionary. And the first data frame refers to sales for the first quarter, and then the second dictionary refers to the sales for the second quarter. And what we want to do is to append these two data frames. We can do that by creating a new table that we name sales Q1, Q2. Then the result is going to be the concatenation of the previous two data frames that we can perform by using the concat function. So we open these square brackets, and whatever we write in these within these square brackets is going to be appended or concatenated. Then we have to set ignore index to either 0 or 1. If ignore index is set to 0, then the final output is gonna show the indexes, the original indexes of the original data frames. However, if we set ignore index as 1, then the machine would create a new index that is sorted in a sequential order. I'm gonna show you. Let's see, print sales Q1, Q2. Then we can run. And as you can see here, we have the one on the left side is the index. And as you can see here, we have an index in sequential order. So we are ignoring the original index of the two data frames. However, if we set it to 0, we would have the original indexes. So from 0 to 4 as the first data frame, and then again from 0 to 4 as the second data frame. Then there is also another thing that we can add to this line of code, which is axis. So basically, whenever the axis is 0, which is set by default. So if we don't type anything, the axis is always 0. The two data frames are going to be appended vertically, stacked vertically. But when the axis is set as 1, then the data sets get stacked horizontally. In this case, we should have the normal form, the default form. So the two data frames appended vertically, but if we set axis to 1, then we would end up with with this. So the two data frames, stacked horizontal. Um, so most of the time, the default settings are ignore index 1 and access 0, but depending on what you want to get, you might want to set ignore index as 0 or access to 1. Okay, now let's move to the second part. And in this second part, In this second part, we have other two data frames presented as created by using dictionaries. The only thing that changes here is that the third column of the first data frame has different name. In fact, for the electronics data frame, we have revenue, but for furniture, we have discount. While the other two columns match perfectly. In this case, still possible to append two data frames. However, the new like the output of our concat function will present a new data frame with four columns. So one column for revenue and one for discount, with the missing values for the first data frame and the second data frame. Let me show you. So let's create the new where we are going to store our outputs. Electronics, furniture, ed concat, and again square brackets, uh, electronics and furniture. By the way, it's possible to also append more than two data frames, potentially two, three, or more data frames can be appended. Uh, Ignore index, we can set it as 1 in this case, and then the access as 0. Uh, and then we can print it. Furniture. And then we can run. And as you can see, here we have the final result with four columns. So we have a column for revenue and a column for discount. In the revenue column, we have the values from the first data frame and the missing values from the second data frame. And the same applies for the discount column. So we have the missing values from the first data frame because we don't have any discount values over there, and the actual values from the second data frame. So thank you for watching this video, and have a good one.